going too fast. I'm taking 3.
I'm going for the St. Louis now.
Oh, no.
Son of a bitch.
You get your 2?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today I've got 2 clips, both with the Gremyashchy. Yes, and both are going to be fairly epic. Now, the first clip we're looking at, this was submitted by Puddahead. Yumping near me on YouTube, so thank you so much, Puddahead, for submitting the replays, and thank you for continuing to submit replays. Always great, and anyone else out there, you know, if you've got some replays you want to send in, be sure to send them in. My email is in the video description below, thotgor1@gmail.com. And like I said to Puddahead, you know, I'm not looking for these big, spectacular, awesome matches, right? Anything you have, really. I might not put it up on the channel, but even if you have questions about it, you know, anything at all, send it in, I'll take a look at it. You never know, you might see it in a video. So, like I said, we have Puddahead here in his Gremyashchy, and we're on straight, and right off the bat, we're going to head off into the C cap point. So this is the southernmost cap point, right? And it's a standard play that you would make in a destroyer on this map, right? I mean, you've got fairly low fairly low detectability range. You're fast, you're maneuverable, so yeah, why not just get in there, just like Puddahead's doing here. So obviously the main sort of goal or strategy here would be just to come into the point, contest it, maybe cap it, but put pressure on the enemy, right? And you can see right away we've got an enemy destroyer off in the distance, and we're engaging it right away as well. Some of the images in this replay might look a little wonky at times. The only reason why they do is, I've discussed it before, it's just because it's in the replay system of World Warships. It's not, you know, a legitimate replay system that they have for the game yet. So that's why it's a little wonky at times, but I didn't think it was any big deal. And this is really a great game anyway. In fact, now that I think about it, we're talking about it, Puddahead had called this one Scratch My Itchy. Yes. I think it goes. I think it goes very, very well with the whole theme of today's video. More or less, you know, just rocking out and having fun. Like Puddahead had said when he submitted the description, you know, he said he had no expectations for this match, didn't know what to expect, just basically looking to have fun. And isn't that all, you know, isn't that what we're all trying to do here with World of Warships, is just have a little fun? I know that's what I'm doing, and I've said it before, right? You know, I love this game because I have a great affinity for ships and for, you know, naval history, being near the ocean and stuff. I live on the east coast of Canada, right next to the ocean, and you know, it's just, I have this connection, right? And it's the same thing for people who have the similar connection to tanks, right? Mine is just with ships. So I play this game to have fun, and when it's no longer fun is when I'm going to stop playing it. To be frank, though, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I know a lot of people complain about World Warships. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But rather dwell on some of the negative aspects of the game, or, you know, parts of the game that I'd like to see changed, but frankly, they will be changed in upcoming patches. I don't know what people are freaking out about. Anyway, rather than dwell on those things, I like to look at the positive. This is an excellent example of that. Like I said, Puddahead coming out here, just having fun, right? Just seeing what he can do in the ship. And this is usually the type of battles where things very unexpected will happen, and you might notice that your results are amazing. So, getting back to the battle, we do have a Tenryu off in the distance here. Puddahead's putting shots into him, right, gets the kill, that's his first kill. Fantastic. I love this Gremyashchy as well. You know, now that the Russian destroyers are actually released, I'm starting to realize that the Gremyashchy is, gotta be careful in how I say this here. So the Gremyashchy is like the Russian ship, or, well, I'm struggling. Okay, yeah, alright. So it's like, you know, an introduction to Russian ships, right? It sets the standards, right? And you look at the Gremyashchy and you think, well, Russian ships are going to have some great guns. That's true. Russian ships are also going to, or destroyers will also have torpedoes. That's also true. But if, you know, because I was thinking about this last night, because I was concerned about the Genvi, I think it's called, Genvi, whatever, the Tier 5 Russian destroyer. Essentially, it's the Gremyashchy equivalent, right? And I was concerned that the Gremyashchy would be better than that Tier 5 destroyer. I've never played the Tier 5 destroyer, so I don't really know if it is or not. I'm assuming, though, because when you look at the Russian destroyers' primary focus is on their guns, not the torpedoes. And it's, primary guns. This is our gunboat in the game. Alright? Not American destroyers. I've changed my perception of American destroyers. They are, the in-between, between Russia and Japanese destroyers. So you could call them jack of all trades of destroyers. Anyway. Gremyashchy has good guns, but really slow turn traverse, right? So if the Genvi can have really good guns with really quick turret traverse, I think that is going to be a superior destroyer over the Gremyashchy. I don't know, this is just theory, hypothetical, right? Gremyashchy has long-range torpedoes. They go really slow, but they reach out to 8 kilometers. The Genvi, I think, only has 5-kilometer torpedoes, but they're fast. So, you can see the contrast here, right, between the two. And you can see how, at least I can see how, the Gremyashchy was an introduction to Russian destroyers. You got a taste of Russian destroyers, but you didn't get the full Monty, if you will. Anyway. You didn't get that, but I still like this Gremyashchy. And that being said, I think the Genvi will be a better destroyer at Tier 5 in terms of Russian destroyers. Anyway, Puddahead just got his second kill. Phenomenal. It was on in New York or Wyoming, and while I was ranting there, we could see that play out. And that was actually a really nice move by Puddahead, sort of weaving in and out of those islands, shooting off his torpedoes. He eventually did get the torpedoes, and I think he got Liquidator? Yes, Liquidator. Alright, so that's awesome. Good stuff. You might say to yourself, too, watching this, well, why are the AA guns on? In a Russian destroyer, or at least in the Gremyashchy, I'm not very concerned with AA guns, to be frank. It's at the Tier 5 level. I'm mostly focused on my guns anyway, so chances are I'm spotted, or people know where I am. So I would be doing the same thing, frankly. I'd have my AA guns on, and if you notice, like, the air attack that Puddahead is coming under, not right now, but has come under, isn't really that intense, right? It's not like the planes are hunting him down or anything like that. They're just flying overhead. I think it's a good call to leave them on at this point anyway. Now, plus you're in a Russian destroyer. If I was in any other destroyer, if I was in a Japanese destroyer, yeah, no, AA guns would be off. But here, why not, right? Why not? Rack up some more points, shoot down some planes, help out your team. I think it's a good call. So now we have Puddahead's team has managed to take B. They have managed to take C. They are winning. We've got one last enemy over here. There was a destroyer as well, but the destroyer, we'll see more of that person here shortly. In the meantime, Puddahead's just going to chase down this cruiser, right? Why not? I think it's a Tier 4 Karlsruhe. Oh man, I am so bad at pronunciations. And I feel really bad about it as well, because not only do I not want to seem ethnocentric, if you don't know what ethnocentric is, then maybe look it up. I'm not going to explain it to you. Anyway, feeling a little ethnocentric when I can't pronounce these names, and I don't want to be that typical Westerner, but I struggle with it. I mean no disrespect, and I mean no offense, obviously. I'm doing my best. And I know, you can go look it up, and people have said it before. Thotgor, go look up the pronunciations. Set in my ways, right? God, I love coffee. Anyway. So you can see at this point in the battle, Puddahead is moving away from the southern sea cap point, right? We're moving into B now. It's more or less shoring up the empire, if you will. Just making sure, because there's really no enemies in the south. The Karlsruhe was taken out. That destroyer that was down there ran away. We'll see him shortly. But ran away, right? So we know there's no enemy ships in the south. So moving into B, this is logical. This makes sense. And you're going to want to defend the B point until you win, right? You're either going to cap it out or you're going to kill all the enemy ships. The way the battle is going, most likely we're going to cap it out here. Coming around this little island here, moving into B, we did catch a glimpse of the destroyer that I was speaking of earlier, but we also see this enemy cruiser on the port side, right? So lining up torpedoes on this guy now, at least taking a look to see where he is to see if we can get torpedoes. When I was watching this replay, I really liked how Puddahead slowed down right here, and it's something that I really need to work on personally as well. Instead of just charging around this island, right? So you'll notice he slowed down and let the enemy ships that were there sort of fire their first shots off at whatever allies were behind Puddahead. That really good play, and like I say, I got to work on that myself. There we can see the enemy destroyer, this destroyer that we're looking at here. This was the guy who ran away from the sea point. There is another enemy destroyer on the other side of the battleship, but different destroyer. So there he is. Gonna put more shots into him. Why the hell not, right? These guys are contesting the B point. We're going to have to do something. And then blam, here comes an enemy battleship. I believe it's a New York. I have no idea. It's an enemy American battleship. We're going to call it a New York. So, the New York is right next to Puddahead. So it's at this point in time, Puddahead, you can tell, little freaked out here, right? Little freaked out. Lining up torpedoes. But this is also a mistake that I make very often too. And you just get caught up in the moment when you're doing it. Waiting for your torpedoes, come on torpedoes, right? Yeah, it's only at this point you realize, well, while those are going, I could probably be shooting my guns, right? Yeah, I do it all the time, something I have to work on as well. Luckily for Puddahead, this all works out very well for him in that he doesn't actually take, well, that was the first shot he took, right, from the main battery of the enemy battleship there. No big deal now, though, because torpedoes are all reloaded. Got a nice spread of torpedoes going right into this guy. Nothing he can do. Blam. All 3 torpedoes hit. Killed that guy. That is his 3rd kill. So doing really, really well this battle, aren't we? Unfortunately, Puddahead's engine is knocked out. Not that big of a deal though, because he still has great guns. There's only really some destroyers around him, and he's in smoke right now. Gave him the time to repair, get turned around, get repositioned, fire off more torpedoes at these enemy destroyers. Let's see if Puddahead can get that 4th kill. Chances are, yes he will. But like I say, really good game. So, we've got 2 enemy destroyers here. One's an Isakaze, and I think the other one's a Minekaze, right? So or Minikaze, whatever. So we're looking at these guys. Torpedoes have been launched off. Puddahead has throttled down his ship entirely, and which, again, good call because he's able to avoid those torpedoes. Gets the kill on the enemy Minekaze, not the Isokaze, but the Minikaze, kills him. That's his 4th kill, and gets the devastating strike. Yep. His team does go on to win this. Oh yeah. We're going to take a look at the final results here, but I really wanted to show this because, such a great battle. And when Puddahead had sent this to me, I believe it was around the time where you get 4 kills in your ship, and they'll give you either the German or the Russian ship to try out, and that's why I believe he had called this Scratch My Itchy, because, he's working on that so hard, finally gets it, but it's the wrong ship. Anyway, almost 300,000 credits, 4 kills, what is that, Liquidator, Devastating Strike, 4 torpedo hits, really, really good battle here. Really enjoyed watching it as well. 3,900 experience as well. You can't go wrong with that, especially if you're using this experience to convert. Really good. Top of the team overall, in fact. And if you do the math on that, he was actually scored more than double the points of the highest scoring enemy on the enemy team. Yep. That enemy team just didn't see this coming. They did not expect Puddahead to scratch his itch in this battle. We can see damage done here. 37,000. Obviously, there's more than that, so we'll say maybe under 60,000. Just doing the math real quick. All said and done, walks away with 329,000 credits, 3,900 experience. Phenomenal. Excellent job. And thanks again for submitting the replay. This was a great battle to watch. Learned a lot of things from it as well. Now, moving on, this is a battle that I had in my Gremyashchy yesterday. Yeah, so story about yesterday. There was no video yesterday, right? I had this big idea in my head yesterday that I was going to do some live streaming on YouTube yesterday. So what I decided to do was I was going to play ships all afternoon, just get some practice in, right? Just get the feel for it to make sure that when I went live, it wasn't just shitty battle after shitty battle. Because that's my biggest fear about doing anything live, is that I'm just going to be shitty battles and I'm not going to know what to say, right? Anyway, did all that, got really lazy, really frustrated with the whole thing, and just stopped. I didn't play ships at all last night, and just stopped. So that's why there was no video yesterday. I do apologize, but, it's my channel, and yes, there will be videos uploaded daily, but sometimes I like to take a day off. I'm not going to schedule days off, like say, every Monday is my day off type thing. No, I'll take days off when I feel like it. I know that's kind of a dick thing to do, but that's how I'm going to work it. Anyway, for now, in the Gremyashchy on Big Race, coming into the Destroyer Alley over here, right? Immediately I've got this Omaha, and he's just firing wildly at anything, right? I don't even think he sees the enemy ship, so I immediately know this guy is smart. This guy knows what is going on, right? I'm going to carry over the whole scratch my itchy thing. I'm going to carry that right into this battle here. I've got an itch to scratch with these idiots, and I'm going to do it. So I launch a full spread of torpedoes, all 6 torpedoes off the Omaha. The Omaha doesn't seem to be paying attention to me at all, and I'm going to ambush this guy as he comes around the island, right? My torpedoes are off, pop my smoke, coming around the island here, and I'm going to just start putting shells into this guy right away. Hopefully he doesn't see the torpedoes I have in store for him, which, is going to play to my benefit. So torpedoes are on the way, and there they go. Fantastic. Hit him with 2 or 3 torpedoes. First blood, devastating strike. Phenomenal, I think. Great. There's no other ships down here in this Destroyer Alley. Kind of surprised about that, frankly. But whatever, I'm not going to stick around in here just driving circles waiting for someone to come. No, I'm going to go hunt some people down. Again, in the Gremyashchy, I usually play it fairly aggressively. I got another rogue torpedo hit off, and at first when this happened, I was like, who did I hit? And I'm checking my allies, right? That's my first thought, oh my god, I hit an ally. But I didn't hear that crazy ringing noise, what happens when you do that. So I'm looking around, I don't see anyone, I figure, I'll find him, We'll see who we hit. So it's going to be a surprise here for us. There's a Farragut, and he is now the center of my attention, right? Look at him right there. So I'm going to put shots into him immediately. Try and do some damage, see what I can do to him. You'll notice that this is, the 1 cap point type of battle here. I forget what it's called. Anyway, so they're capping that middle point. So this is the time when I realize that, and I want to put pressure on them. Here comes an Isokaze. Look at that Isokaze. He's on really low health. That is the guy that I hit with my torpedo. Yes, it is. Really surprised that I didn't kill him outright with the torpedo. That would have been awesome, right? Would have gotten a double kill. But whatever. Put a few shots into him, finish him off. He's gone. 2 kills for me. Fantastic. We still have this Farragut to deal with. Yes, we do. If you notice, though, the Farragut is suffering from a bit of insanity. Bout of insanity, we'll say, and has grounded himself. And apparently he didn't see me at all, even though I just murdered his friend. Didn't see that, I guess. So he's just driving right into this rock, right? Oh, okay. Off goes my spread of torpedoes. I launched both for good measure. You could make the argument that I didn't have to do it, and I'd accept that argument, but I launched both for good measure. Kill him, 3rd kill, devastating strike. Phenomenal. So I have 2 devastating strikes now, and I'm on 3 kills. Dodge all of his torpedoes, obviously. That wasn't hard to do. And now I'm looking around. What else can I kill, I wonder? We've got some torpedo bombers here. A little more coffee. Got some torpedo bombers there, but yeah, not really concerned with them. Torpedo bombers and destroyers, you can, and I've seen it, it happens a lot. If the destroyer captain isn't paying attention, you can swoop your torpedo bombers in there and kill the destroyer very easily. It can be done. But generally speaking, I don't really understand why a torpedo bomber would go after the destroyer when there's so many other targets, right? You see it often, but I don't know. It seems to me that it's the skilled carrier pilots who are going to be taking out destroyers with their torpedo bombers, right? Because it's those skilled aircraft carrier captains who will manually drop the torpedoes in a crazy, insane close range, and they'll arm just in the nick of time and hit you. That being said, I've shown you many clips where I, in my destroyer, was taken out by a torpedo bomber, but anyway, we've got another enemy over here, and I've launched some torpedoes off at him. Not really confident about those torpedoes at all. You can see I did slow down a little because I didn't want to run into the island. Obvious. But we're back up to full speed. Torpedoes that I sent at that guy, they're not going anywhere. I'm not going to hit him. He turned around and avoided the whole thing. I believe that this is a Tier 4 German cruiser, Karlsruhe. Yeah, maybe. God, Thotgor. Anyway, this island pops out of nowhere at all. And I run right into it. Yeah, no big deal. Just reverse the ship and we'll get out of that. Love coffee. Anyway, enough about coffee. Putting shots into that guy. His engine is gone. You can tell because of the flames coming out of his smokestack. See them there? Yeah. I'm really glad that they re-added that. I don't even know if they took it out of the game, but it seemed to me that there was a while there where my engines would get knocked out, or I'd knock out the engines of an enemy, and we wouldn't see the flame and smoke coming out of the smokestack, and that's a telltale sign that the engine's knocked out. Wouldn't see it, and I wouldn't realize that the enemy's engine is knocked out. So I don't know if it was taken away, or if there was a glitch and it wasn't showing, but it's back, and I see it now, and I've noticed it, so really glad that continues to be a part of the game. It's very important to be able to look at the enemy ship and to recognize, some really basic things about it, right? Like what type of hull does it have? You can see the guns on the ship itself and where the turret's pointing. You can see the engine. Is the engine knocked out or not? So really important to have those features in the game, and excellent that Wargaming does it. Not only does it increase the immersion of the player, because you can it makes it a little more intense. You realize your actions had consequences on that enemy ship, and the enemy ship is now at a disadvantage, right? So kind of pulls you into the game more, because you want to kill that enemy more, or you want to destroy that enemy more. Sounds less aggressive maybe. Anyway, the Karlsruhe is gone, and I'm just sort of looking around. More things to hunt down is what I want. I'm on 3 kills. I'd like to get the 4th kill. Like to see if I can get that done. Important point that's going to be coming up quickly here in the game. This was during the afternoon, as I discussed earlier. I'm recording this in the afternoon, and we'll get to the point, but I just want to set it up so that you're aware of it when it happens, and I can just point it out. At one point during this battle, I actually get a call. Yeah. So you'll notice that the screen doesn't move, right? I'm just staring at a mountain, I think. But that's when I'm in the call. Normally, I might edit that out or might not show it, but it really actually turned out quite funny, and it plays to the whole scratch my itchy thing. So we're going to leave that part in there. I just wanted to explain it and set it up before it actually happens to make sure that we have time to be aware of it when it happens, and I can simply point it out, and there we go, right? So just be aware that in the next few minutes here, things might get a little wonky. It's because I'm on the telephone. So I put a few shots into that battleship over there, right? Why not? Maybe set it on fire, make them use as a repair, do some damage over time, right? That's just all basic stuff that I want to do here. So, putting shots into that guy. There was a cruiser over there as well, putting shots into the cruiser. Again, just using the guns of the Gremyashchy to my advantage. There's the aircraft carrier, and I get sort of distracted with this aircraft carrier. It's like, oh, butterfly, right? And I'm just forget what I'm doing, and I'm off doing whatever. Short attention span. That happens, and I got to work on it, and I've been working on it for a while. When the aircraft carrier pops up to just, whoa, stop, think about things for a minute. Should I shoot the aircraft carrier? Should I continue to shoot the guy I'm shooting at now? Or, just assessing the situation when that happens. So, the aircraft carrier goes away. I get distracted with torpedo bombers. I don't see the aircraft carrier anymore. I just have the battleship over there. Put more shots in the battleship. Aircraft carrier pops up once again, and I still haven't got the whole maybe I shouldn't be focusing on the aircraft carrier out of my mind. So I'm shooting at the aircraft carrier now. It all does work out though. This is the point right here. I'm on the phone. You can see I'm not really, I'm only basically playing with one hand at this time, right? All I've got is my right hand on the mouse. My left hand is on the phone. It was a fairly important call as well, so it wasn't like I couldn't, just call them back later. No, it was one of those important calls where you're setting up meetings and you're discussing things, and you got to bring this, and of course they're not calling me Thotgor, but you know what I mean. So I can't really focus on the game, and that's what we're seeing right here. So a few things that I didn't really recognize, because my camera is pointing there, right? I was shooting at that battleship. I don't even see the shots that are attacking me. I mean, at this point in the call, I'm marking stuff down, getting ready, because in fact this morning, I just finished the meetings that I needed to have and come back and record the video. So that's what's going on. And I'm sort of, still on the phone. We're wrapping it up at this point. Now I'm sort of looking around like, oh God, Thotgor, what did you do? Because, I'm only going in a straight line, and frankly, I figured I would die. No. How this, because I think it's in New York right next to me, how I get this close to a New York without getting killed, I have no idea whatsoever. You can see telephone call is over now. I'm coming back. Holy shit, on the starboard side, I've got a New York that's like 2 kilometers away. Launch a full spread of torpedoes. Look to the port. Oh my God, what is this? Call through on the port side, and he gets me. Yeah, it's over. I'm done. But just wait for it. Wait for it. Oh yeah. That was great, wasn't it? So I kill the battleship. I get another devastating strike. So that's 3 devastating strikes. I have 4 kills. I have first blood, and I now have a Confederate medal. This was a really, really good battle. And it was so surprising, especially given the ending there, where I fuck everything up because I'm on a telephone call. I just drive right into the enemies. It was good, and again, it plays with the whole scratch my itchy thing. I just wanted to have a good battle. I just wanted to earn some money. Saving up with the Kagero, I'm about maybe 4 million away from buying my Kagero now, Tier 9 Japanese destroyer. So that was all I wanted to do. Plus, I wanted to have some good games, get some practice in to do the live streaming, which never happened. Anyway, we're going to actually take a look at the results here. And yes, you are not seeing things. 412,000 credits, 5,600 experience, phenomenal. This was 1.5 times. It wasn't during the 2 times. I did more than double the experience of the highest scoring enemy on the team. In terms of damage done, I think it was a little over 90,000 damage that I managed to get done in that battle. Just phenomenal. I was really thrilled with this battle, actually. And really thrilled that I got the replay from Puddahead that I could show both in the same video. Worked out really well. So that's today's video. I do thank you very much for sticking around, watching the video through. I do hope you enjoy it. Leave any comments you might have for me. Love hearing those comments. Send any replays you might have for me as well. Love taking a look at those. Thotgor1@gmail.com. It's also in the video description below. Hit the old like button if you like the video. If you are not a subscriber, do hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.